Good morning. My name is Bob Drusendahl. I'm with the Pre-Check Company. We do pre-employment background screening and have done so for 26 years. I'm here with Frank Johannick from the Economic Employment Office at the Westside Catholic Center, and Sharon Tufts, one of our loyal, faithful volunteers and board members who has worked for the last 10 years working towards a common solution to help provide second chance opportunities for ex-offenders and those with employment barriers.
Correct.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Good to be here.
How are you all doing today?
Good.
Good. That's excellent. The Westside Catholic Center is grounded in faith, love, hope, and respect for those we serve. The Westside Catholic Center assists all who come in need of food, shelter, and clothing with a path towards self-sufficiency. Is that right, guys?
Yeah, that's good.
That is correct.
Yeah.
That is our motto.
So we feed how many people?
About 7,000, Bob.
Wow, that's quite a lot of meals that you're preparing. And I know that you also have a shelter for domestic violence abusers and things of that nature called the Mariah House. And we also have the Zacchaeus Project. And what does that do?
It's a subsidized housing program for those who have transitioned out of a shelter.
And do we focus mostly just on, because it's Catholic, a Catholic, those with a Catholic experience?
Oh, no. It's really, to be a Catholic, it's really serving all people equally and regardless of your faith.
It's more universal in nature. So
the small C.
Yeah. So if you don't believe or you have other faiths, we certainly support them as well.
Indeed.
Good. All right. So we're here to talk about giving second chances to those with employment barriers. That would be people such as ex-felons. We're talking about, again, women who have been through domestic violence and need a second opportunity to get back in the workforce. We're talking about homeless who are, maybe not done anything, or vets, for instance, right? We serve all those people, do we not?
We serve all those people. And I think the common denominator there, Bob, and I know that Frank would say the same thing, is they have all experienced trauma. And that's one of the things that is very unique about our agency. All the staff and even us volunteers are trained to recognize the effects of long-term trauma and what it does to a person. It affects their ability to cope. It affects their ability to manage their anger. It affects their ability to handle what for us might be routine day-to-day stuff. And trauma can be a significant barrier in and of itself, and then added to it becomes a homeless situation or a felony situation or a situation with domestic violence, etc., etc., etc.
To add to that, Bob, we have found that trauma actually impacts how the brain processes, and it got to the point where over the years we have incorporated it into our workforce development program.
And how have you done that?
We've included it in our discussions and teaching within the workforce development program because we realize that people have to identify what the issues are that are triggers to them that may bring back this trauma situation, and that way we can start to address it. We deal with it in the class because it does come into the workforce, and by going through the program, it prepares our people even stronger to be good, strong employees that are able to deal with these issues. We found that it's terrible, really, to bring people back just to hire them right out of a situation where they're not properly transitioned
into being work ready.
That's right.
So why would an employer want to hire an ex-felon, for instance? Why would an employer want to hire a person that was just coming out of a domestic violence situation? Why would an employer want to hire a vet that maybe have substance abuse issues? Why would they want to do that?
Well, we found with those that have been incarcerated, going through a program, they are stronger in retention for that first level of employment. If going through this process of transitioning of a workforce development program, addressing those issues, we find that they are hungrier. As a manager of the program, they are more they want to work more than sometimes the average person.
Yeah, I've heard that Northwestern University did a study on this, and the retention rate is usually stronger with ex-offenders, for instance. Sharon, do you have any comments or thoughts on this?
I do. Being one of those volunteers that actually works with Frank and with our clients on interviewing and interviewing techniques, um, our clients are hungry to know how to keep a job, not just how to get a job, because that's what we definitely focus on that. What do you do to prepare yourself, and a resume, and even dress for success, if you will. However, to keep a job is one of the things that Frank's program has added. How do you manage anger? What is a trigger for you? Does this manager talking to you like your dad did that triggered you when you were a kid? How do you handle that now that you're an adult and you are in a situation where you want to keep a job and this is making you feel crazy? And that's one of the things that makes the Economic Opportunities Program at the Westside Catholic Center somewhat unique, because we don't just look at it from an outside view. We look at it from the inside view in terms of how our clients feel and what it takes for them to overcome that issue.
And, you know, I'm a believer now. Remember, I've done background checks for 26 years, and we've done quality work. And I'm the guy who does a little Snoopy dance when I find a criminal history for our clients. I really have done that, guys. All right. But now I'm trying to find opportunities for our employers, our clients, and others to go out and give a second opportunity, because I think they're going to get better workers. And if you train them properly, wouldn't that be true that they would be able to do it? And do we have a follow-up service? So after the 4-week program that we go through, do we, kind of manage and stay on top of things as well?
Yes. And if I could backtrack a sec,
Sure.
even in the program itself, we do look at the long-term retention by dealing with issues of communication, how we work as teams, because whatever you do, you're going to be working and communicating as a team. And we're looking at retention of how long our people who get placed stay in their jobs. So that's a strong thing. We do find that that kind of processing helps them. I would say, in addition to the follow-up,
you have counselors that come in and help you help the people to make sure that there's doing the right job in the workplace, that they're you're going back with the employer and checking to make sure that things are going smoothly. Do you have something like that?
We do. I would say to the employers that not only are they getting a prepared candidate, because if they come out of our program, they're dependable. They've been showing up every day, so they're work ready. But we do follow them up for at least 90 days with regular check-ins to see how they're doing. We support them with a mentor, if that's an option for them, that somebody else who is an outside support network, because a lot of times when they return into society, they don't have that positive network. They may have an older network that may not be that helpful to them.
Exactly, and that's so important that the family at Westside Catholic Center becomes a support network for this new employee, to help replace maybe some of those old friends who weren't so positive.
There you go.
And
Excellent.
that is extremely important, because some people, we're very blessed. We've got people that have our back, to use an expression, but some of our clients aren't as blessed. And so the Economic Opportunities Program, the staff, can sometimes act in that role, and we've even got a great mentor program where we're bringing in other people who have a heart for this clientele to be mentors and encouragers as well, and it's a very positive thing.
Frank, could you go back and readdress the work readiness and the mentoring real quick without hitting the...
Okay, yes. As they go through the program, we believe that as they have attended the program as graduates, they are dependable, hardworking, ready to be employed people. But we also realize that they need that continued support. As Sharon has mentioned, the mentoring program helps to keep another opportunity of positive support out there. And then we do follow up on a weekly basis for 90 days to see how they're doing, what other issues they may need. We do encourage that tie-in with the agency for a long period of time. We have an alumni support group for them. We have bring in speakers for them. We want to continue that support because we know it can be challenging. The temptation to go back to bad habits is great.
So as we wrap this up today, is there some last minute thoughts that you may have or may not have that you wanted to add to this program?
I'll go first, guys. I'd say to our employers, and I worked for over 30 years here in our greater Cleveland community, in not-for-profits as well as in the for-profit world, and it is the right thing to do. We want to start and end with that. But as an employer's representative, I would also say you're going to get good workers, good people who are ready to work. You could potentially also receive a financial incentive to help you as this person is orienting and becoming coming to the point where they are able to give you 100%.
Yes, I've heard that there's a $2,400 tax credit.
There could be a tax credit for some employers.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very good thing to do. We also have to think, if we don't do it, who will? I remember recently a news report that said, the city of Cleveland is hiring felons. And people like Frank and me were overjoyed. It was presented on the news as a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right? We have to know that everyone who comes out has paid their dues should be eligible to restart their lives. And we should help.
And if you don't give them a second chance, what's going to happen? They're going to go back doing what they did before. Here, with a second chance, you're going to give them a chance to be brought back into society and to do a good work that they can be proud about, that will help us grow better. And for the employer, there's going to be a huge return on investment because these people are going to be more loyal because they're grateful for the opportunity to have that second chance. Wouldn't you say, Frank?
Yeah, and I think you brought up a good point earlier that not only are these going to be strong workers, but they really do add a rich diversity to your workforce that will just make your agency even better, your company even better. Yes, there's financial incentives. Yes, there's a bonding that can take place if that's an issue, but your agency actually is more enriched by having these people on board. And really, the bottom line is too is this is an incredible labor force in our country that is underutilized, and unless it is, it's just going to be detrimental to our community as a whole if we don't take that rich, diverse asset, talented asset, and incorporate them back into society.
And with unemployment at 3.4%, and you can't find qualified workers, here's an opportunity to find good workers, to be able to train them, who will stay with you and provide the services and support and accomplish the corporate mission that they're seeking to do.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So that's great, guys. This has been wonderful. I really think that this has been a big help, I think. And we encourage every employer, whether it be in the not-for-profit world, the for-profit world, to come back and be part of this movement. And it's a growing movement. If you read the SHRM magazine and that, you're going to find a greater emphasis on giving a second opportunity to bring people back in the workforce. Because I will tell you that I went to our background screening convention a couple of years ago during the Obama administration. At the time, Chairman Behrens of the EEOC told us there were 70 million Americans with criminal histories. Can you imagine that? That's like 17% of our population. Again, if we don't do something about this, what are they going to do? They're not, they're going to continue to do the things that got them in trouble in the first place.
Sure.
Let's give them that second chance.